record real fast. Hey guys, thank you so much for hopping on the Sculpted Brilliance and Mermaids on a Mission team call on a Wednesday. Normally our calls are on Sundays. They will continue on Sunday from here on out, but we have a very special guest speaker, Joel Freeman, who is a co-creator of Force, talking to us about the program. You have seen Natasha and I's results, and I'm sure that a lot of you have already purchased your program and are going to be doing our big, huge test group together. If you haven't, please do so, and definitely get the deluxe packages, because you're going to want to do a full round of all of it, and then you're going to want to add in all the awesome stuff that they are going to add into, and I'm sure Joel will talk about all that. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let him take over and talk to you guys, and then I'm sure there will be time for questions afterwards, hopefully. Go ahead, Joel.
Well, hi, everybody. Nope. God, geez, Rachel, no pressure here. Hey, look, this is your call, right? This is for you guys, and I want this to be as beneficial for you as possible. So questions, comments, concerns, anything about Core to Force, let me have it. I've got the chat box open, so start throwing stuff in there. And look, you guys, I know you have your FAQ page on the back office about the program and stuff. So Rachel, you can tell me, is there something specific that you feel might have been missed in the FAQ that you want me to go over, or I
feel like they've, seen my journey, they've seen Natasha's journey, and they've seen everybody else's thing. So I kind of just can you give us your ideas on special, any extra bonus stuff that we can use when we're promoting? Is there any, cool stuff that you can share that maybe nobody else would know yet? I mean, is there?
Well, okay. So in terms of promoting special stuff, I mean, look, you guys know everything that's out there. It's a brand new program. There's not much more that you need than having a brand new program at your disposal. I think what we can talk about for a second, though, is with Rachel being in here, and then Lauren is also in the test group. Is she on this call? I don't see her.
No.
Okay. Anyway, you got Rachel here. So, and you guys have seen, I'm sure, and heard from her and everybody else, and you've seen the post on the results that have been happening with the coaching test group, and they've been nothing short of absolutely phenomenal. And it really comes down to trusting the process. And this is what we're talking to, Jericho and I are talking to a lot of coaches about. Every coach that we possibly can, get the word out, and really having this conversation as it comes down to trusting the process. And sometimes, for whatever reason, that tends to be, I don't want to say hard, but you guys as coaches, you're stuck in your little fitness bubble, right? Your little Beachbody fitness bubble. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is a great bubble to be in. It's a very positive environment. But when you have to think about who are you talking to, who is your customer, who is your target audience, and they're not in this bubble. So you have to think about, okay, if I'm going to start talking about Core to Force, how am I going to, I don't want to say pitch it, but how am I going to discuss Core to Force with my customers? And I'm talking to you guys as coaches. And, the whole thing about we got our one sheet on there. It says, the 30-day program, total body transformation. And that's all true, but that's top sheet marketing stuff. That's what you're going to see on the infomercial. You guys, you're different because you're actually going to be talking to people, and you can discuss this with people. And so when I say trust the process, what I mean by that is to go in this next 30 days or however long, whenever you start the program, and do it as a beginner, as if you have never done a program in your entire life. Because if you come at it from any other angle, you will not see the true benefits and the full possibility, the full possible benefits the Core to Force can offer you. And I mean that by, if look, I'm sure you guys have done other programs in the Beachbody library, and that's great. But think about it from your customer's perspective. We're going after the 226 million people in the United States that are overweight and not exercising. That's our target. That's who we're going for. That's who we designed Core to Force for. We didn't design it for people who are already exercising and already in super happy and fit and everything like that. Do we hope everybody does it? Absolutely. Can you always get something out of it? No doubt. I still get benefits from these types of workouts. But we're going after the people that are not exercising. So when you do this program, do it as a beginner. Do it as fresh as a fresh start. It's a chance to, and that's what we say, trust the process. So, think of it as somebody would if they've never done any sort of workouts before. That's why we have the Learn It and Work It's. That's why the eating plan is very simple and break it down. You don't know anything about what the portion fixed control system is because your clients don't, right? Your customers don't. So take it from, level 0 seriously when it comes to this. And the only thing you have to lose is inches, seriously, in 30 days. Like, you're going to get results off of it. But if you really want to see what it can truly do, then do it this way I'm talking about, because then at the end of the 30 days, or as you're going through this journey, as you're progressing through this journey, you have relatability to who you're talking to. So now this person who is going to say, I don't know, this program looks a little too hard. I'm deconditioned. I'm not fit. So this is going to be too hard for me. And you could say, you know what? Nuh-uh, because I did it from day one and I was able to do it because of these reasons. And that goes in, then you start talking about the program itself. But then you can also talk to the program of how it's going to benefit that person personally. And you guys as coaches should be experts on who you're talking to, right? You should be, this was back when I was doing personal training sessions. I would get to know my clients before I ever even wrote them an exercise plan. And it was like, not just, a 1 hour conversation. Like, it was getting to know, I became an expert on this person. So I was able to figure out what was not working in their life, what thing or things were not working already in their life, and what needed to change. And so that's what you guys should be doing as coaches, where you become experts on these people, and then you can go and you can say, hey, look, you know what? I know you've been having some trouble. You mentioned you were having trouble really staying on an eating plan. Well, hey, check this out. The Core to Force eating plan, it's a higher intensity program, so you're going to get to eat more food, so you're not going to be hungry, and it's clean calories, and it's good food. Like, that's how you take it specifically to somebody, as opposed to just saying, hey, you should do this and you should work out because you're going to get fit. That's generic. That's every single program out there in the world. That's what the Gazelle infomercial piece of equipment the guy looks funny on, and the shake weight and everything. That's what they all preach. But if you can say exactly how Core to Force will benefit this person personally, that is going to go way further than any infomercial and anything ever will. So trust the process. Take it from day one. Trust us that we spent 18 months on this project to make sure that we covered everything. So it's there. Rachel and Laura in the group, I think, can attest to this, that we worked really hard to make sure that this is fun, this is enjoyable. And you guys, you don't know me very well, but I promise you, if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't want to do it. And if it had to do with not eating, I would say absolutely not, because I love food. So this is, really trying to bring something into the world. And Jericho's the exact same way, of bringing something into the world that we don't hope that people just do this and get on the 30-day Core to Force wagon. We hope that this creates a new path where the wagon disappears. There is no more wagon. There's no on or off a wagon. It is simply a new path that people are on, where they just continue this and they bring it into their life, and they find the balance, because that's what's huge. That's how you stick with it. That's how you stay happy. That's how you still exercise. You still get to eat and have fun and have a good time and not worry about what you're going to eat for Thanksgiving dinner. It's a freebie because you have balance. So that's what we're really hoping this program will bring, and not to mention people in their inner badasses, right? So there's my my overarching little spiel. So Rachel, I hope that sufficed.
Yeah, no, that's totally great. I can totally be a testament to that whole not off the wagon, never having to be off the wagon again. Like, this entire journey and everything have just completely changed my life. Like, for real, you guys, this program is just phenomenal, and I'm so excited that I now get to just share and like pour into all these people that I know need something like this, and just change everyone's life. Like, we are so ready. So
good.
Yes.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. And look, it's a testament to and it really comes down to this, and where you look, we know what we're up against when it comes to the world of marketing and fad diets. And, I've been in the fitness industry since I was 19, and I've seen and been a part of a lot of those different things. And that it makes it a little bit harder for us because, the fads, the things that aren't necessarily the best are usually the cheapest. And so then we're up against that. That's why, you have problems with trying to convince people that Shakeology is not a protein powder and it's worth it. So you got some things that you're up against, coaches. But if you seriously figure out what and how Core de Force and everything else that you do as a Beachbody coach will fit into your customer's life, then that right there will create so much value in the product and what you do that's going to make your life a lot easier. So, and that's what we hope Core de Force will do is people will come into it, they're going to see the value, and then they get addicted. We hope they that's why the program's only 30 days. We know that you can get a lot more out of 60 and 90, no questions asked on that one, but 30 days is a chance to, it's not a scary time commitment, and it's also enough time for people to see stellar results. So that's why we did the 30, because we know it's enough time. If they see the results, it's going to create a habit. So that's why we did that. So a lot of cool things with it.
And I think that sharing your journey, like every step of the way, guys, like every single day. Like day 2, you're going to have this dynamic strength, ridiculous workout. Like I just did it again today. And I seriously remember just being like, well, okay, I've never done any of this before in my life. There's no way I'm going to be able to handle this at all. And so then you're able to take video of everything and like how bad you suck at it this time, because in 3 or 4 weeks, when you do that workout again, you're going to be like, oh my God, I totally did these on my toes this time. And you can put those videos side by side. I can't tell you how much like interest I have got just from like side-by-side pictures, side-by-side videos, like stuff like that of just the last 70 days is all we've had. I've sold 34 challenge packs in the last 2 days just from sharing this journey. So this is your opportunity right now to take this, get 60-day results out of this coming into January, and freaking blow the first quarter out of the water. So take this that you have and like really run with it, because it is seriously it's so good.
Hey, look, and you're 100% right, Rachel. And look, at guys, it comes down to, simply said, is people want to see the struggle. They don't want to just see a picture of a before and after. Again, that goes back to marketing. We got that. Infomercials got that. Your job is to talk to people and connect to people. So they want to see you struggle, right? They want to see. That's realism. That's relatability. So the videos that Rachel's talking about is those videos of the first week. Absolutely keep those. And those are the ones that you should be showing before anything else, because even after you're 60 days into it, show those videos first and be like, hey, if they're not too sure about this and they're like, well, I'm really uncoordinated, I'm like, let me show you something. Because I guarantee you, every single one of you, the first time you do this program, you're going to look a little silly. It's guaranteed, unless you've actually boxed in a real mixed martial art gym before and have some sort of training. It's going to happen. This is not a cardio kickboxing program, guys. The cardio kickboxing program is choreographed to music. Nothing wrong with it, not knocking it. I've taught pretty much every program out there over the years. But this is not a cardio kickboxing program. This is not a weight loss program. This is a total body transformation program. So show where you start, show your level 0, because everybody that you're going to be talking to is going to be at the exact same level or whatever their level is, but it's still going to be a level 0 for them, right? Because that's the beginning level. So show it, and then everyone, then they're going to be like, oh, wow, okay, maybe I can do this. Because then you start to show your progressions, and like Rachel and everyone in the test group, first time they do dynamic strength, and we introduce Sphinx push-ups, and everybody goes, WTH, how am I supposed to do these? And now 60-something days into it, almost 70, I think we're 70 days now. Even by the end of the 30 days, you're still going to be rocking them. But now you got people doing the whole thing on their toes. It's phenomenal. So you only show them.
Not there yet. I've got like 2 or 3, I think, at the most. But I can do all of them on my knees, like the first round. I got all of those today. So
you know what? Half our original test group and half of the coach test group couldn't do one push-up, like a regular push-up, when we first started this entire thing. And now you can do like 2 or 3 Sphinx push-ups on your toes. Like, that's ridiculous. It shows that the progressions are there, but you just have to keep working on it, and it will happen for sure. I did see Cindy ask me a question in the chat about you have someone who lives in a dorm room. only have access to a microwave to make her food. So yeah, you know what, I would say you can definitely modify the eating plan. And the eating plan is on the Portion Fix system, and the book walks you through it. So it will give that person options and different ways of doing things. And you might have to get a little creative. Depending on the dorm, I remember back in the dorms, we snuck in a hot plate. Not saying that they should do that, but we snuck in a hot plate and used to make mac and cheese on the hot plate. It was pretty, I'm sure we would have gotten kicked out. So maybe I shouldn't have said sneak in a hot plate, but there is ways around it, right? So there's always ways. I think that they could definitely do that. In terms of wanting to eat healthier, I would say get the program, use the eating plan as much as possible. And look, every little bit is better than nothing, for sure. Jess, you keep getting asked how it's different from combat. Look, you're going to get asked that by people who have done combat. And combat, Les Mills Combat is a cardio kickboxing program, as is TKB and Taibo, and all those programs, again, are great. I used to teach combat for like 9 years. It's awesome. Still love it. It's in the gyms and it's doing a great job. This is, but it's kind of the same thing of asking, well, what's the difference between size and country heat? That really is the reality of it. Like, so, okay, well, they're both dance programs, so aren't they the same? Nah. And I've never heard anybody ask what's the difference between size and country heat, right? It's because it's pretty evident. And I know that, again, the world of mixed martial arts, jab is a jab, a cross is a cross. And, those words have been interchanged across cardio kickboxing programs. And, a jab is not always going to, or cross is not always going to be the same thing in every single program. We went from a very authentic standpoint. This is a mixed martial arts style fitness training program. This is the type of training that you would do if you were in a mixed martial arts studio. This is that. And so that's probably the best way to describe it, is this is exactly without getting punched in the face. So there you go. Without the contact. That's awesome, right? Nobody wants to get, it sucks getting punched in the face. Trust me, I've done it. So this is the training without the contact is a great way of really telling people about it. And, you guys see, in the world of MMA, you see the end result. You see the UFC on pay-per-view, and you see them beating the crap out of each other. And, so it very much looks like a very aggressive world. And the fighting of it, the actual bouts, of course that's aggressive because you're punching each other. But in the world of the training component, it's really not. And this is a world that Jericho and I have been in for a long time with everything else we've done. We love it. I box still 3 or 4 times a week myself at my studio that I go to. And these are some of the nicest people you've ever met in the world, because they get their aggressions out when they're doing these types of training. So that really kind of comes into the psyche. And this is why we keep, the word badass keeps coming out, because something about the way you train in this type of environment and doing this MMA style training, it really gets aggression out. And in the same time, coupled with releasing endorphins, at the end of every single workout, you're just like, yeah, all right. Like, I got this. Like, I killed that. Like, I'm ready for tomorrow. Like, bring it on. And then it starts to translate into the rest of your life. So that's something that, I'm not saying that other programs don't give you confidence or anything like that, but there's something to be said about this. This is really, and we keep hearing it from everybody in the coach group. And, we just did 8 cities in 3 days this last weekend and taught a class in every single city. And we heard everybody just talking about like how awesome they feel, empowered and badass just after, 25 minutes of working out. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, very long answer to your question, Jess. I hope I answered it, or at least gave you enough talking points about it. You're nodding your head, so I'll take that as a good sign. Okay. You had your never works out 18-year-old sister do MMA speed. She asked if this is something that could build muscle or it's more of a shredding workout. This is from Danae. Hope I said that right. So this is mixed, again, total body conditioning, and you only did MMA speed, which is just one of the stand-up MMA cardio workouts. But every other day, for the most part, you will be doing a strength training component, resistance training, body balance, coordination, agility, conditioning, not just punching and kicking. So, and Rachel, you can attest to this, you're going to get some strength for sure. You're going to build some muscle, because we really use very creative MMA techniques to build strength and coordination.
I mean, have you seen my shoulders, guys? Like, obvious that is built from this program. So.
Yeah, and it's not just punchy and kicky, as I said. I don't know if you guys saw my post today on my Instagram, Joel Freeman Fitness. We posted one of our favorite moves, which is the sit-up escape, taken from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And that's what I tell people. So I was like, if you think this is just a punchy, kicky program, you will be sorely mistaken. Get it? Yeah. Bad joke. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions or any comments that you would like to talk about?
Come on, you guys are coaches. I love how I get on there. Your job is to talk to people, and then I jump on and no one says anything.
No, this is every team call. Every team call.
Every time. Every time. Jess, you asked me what my favorite workout is. The cliche answer is they're all my favorite because Jericho and I wrote all of them. But my two favorite that I absolutely just get really excited about is I absolutely love MMA Shred, which is the Muay Thai kickboxing. It's the more Muay Thai kickboxing inspired of the MMAs because I absolutely love Muay Thai training. And then I love Power Sculpt. It's our plyometric one. And I had so much fun getting back into the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And when we were researching, looking at the training for this stuff. And I love it. It's crazy because it's one of the hardest workouts we have in the program with all the plyometric movements, but it's good stuff. Let's see. Winter's asking, in terms of shoes, great question. It does matter what type of shoes you have because you are going to have to do a lot of rotation in this program. So rotating on the balls of your feet, heels up, hips turn. So what that means is, stay away from the running shoes, stay away from thing that has a lot of grip and traction. Now, depending on the surface that you're exercising on, you want to be able to pivot. So, a shoe that has maybe a little bit of a smoother surface will be better, like Nike Freeze, Reebok Z-Quicks. Those are, for Jericho and I, those are two of our favorite ones that we use. And, it just depends on the surface that you're on. Now, in terms of barefoot, Trisha, you're asking about barefoot. That is completely up to you. Everybody's different. Every foot is different. So I know some people are flat-feeted, flat foot and whatever. But if you decide to go barefoot, just make sure you're able to rotate and you have stability. There is lateral movements in some of these workouts, so we want to make sure that you're not going to, slide, inadvertently do the splits, basically. So just be careful of that and make sure you have stability in your movements. But barefoot, it's not the end of the world if you do it barefoot. I think some of the people in the coaching test group do because based on the surface of their floor, that was most comfortable for them. In terms of like surface they would recommend, we filmed it on rubber mats with our Reeboks on, and it was perfect. A little support is always great. So. I can't tell you that was optimal, but whatever you got, you can use. And but we designed it. We designed this where you could use it on any surface, anywhere, as long as you are able to pivot safely and move safely. And then we also designed it in terms of Danae, you're asking, and for a 8x8 space. So everything in this program you should be able to do in an 8x8 space. So we tried to think of everything. I don't know if we did, but we tried to.
I think you did a pretty good job.
Thanks. We took our time on it. That's for damn sure. It took took forever.
I talked to you. I talked to Jericho on the cruise, and I was like, okay, so when are we gonna get your new program? She's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, no, I know.
Yeah, that was. Hey, look, the original conversations for the idea, the product, actually, not even the product, but the original conversations for Jericho and I to take this project on or to design something actually started back in November of 2014. So we're 2 years into this. So we've been, and then, fast forward, and Jericho had Bex and C-section, everything, but we were doing prod dev when she was still pregnant. I mean, we were doing design and everything. So we've been working on this for a long time, but it was a long time to keep a secret. Winter, our workouts on the cruise, and that's a big thing I think about the the Core de Force program is Jericho and I, our background is group exercise. We've been doing group exercise for a very long time. That's what we love. That's our passion. So anytime we get to do a live event, that's kind of like our forte. That's where we really get excited, because in these live events with Beachbody, we can do whatever we want. Like, so we get to pick our own music. There's no licensing issues. There's no legalities or anything like that. So live is great, and that's what we did on the cruise. We seriously just did whatever the hell we wanted, and just kind of smoked everybody in the process. Like, hey, what should we do on a moving boat? Let's make people balance and see what happens. So we had a good time with that. And but what we really wanted to do was try to bring in that type of energy and excitement into a home workout. And it is challenging to do sometimes, because you're just staring at a camera, a little red light, and you're not getting any feedback from it. So it was a challenge, but I think having two of us there, and we work so well together, we've been working together for years, and we're such good friends and family, and her husband was my best man. Like, we're just so close that I think it makes for a great connection and great energy. And I think, and Rachel can maybe say yes or no to this, but I think we got it. I think we got that energy across. Yeah, 2 thumbs up. There we go. So I think that's going to help too, right? So the energy will hopefully translate into the workout as you guys do this. Trisha, you're asking about ham weights ever, and the answer is simply no. This program is designed specifically for no equipment whatsoever. Obviously, or I shouldn't say obviously if you didn't know this, but in the deluxe package, in the deluxe kit, there are 2 workouts that we designed using the Beachbody Agility Ladder, which does come in the deluxe kit, but we designed it specifically using that ladder and vice versa. So we won't do any other exercise or workouts with that ladder. The world of MMA, authentic MMA, when you're punching something, you have reps and gloves on. When you're not punching something like shadow boxing and stuff, you don't. You're punching air, so air doesn't have any resistance, so you don't need it. So you just, I know, again, other cardio kickboxing programs that came out with gloves and things like that, leave them in the drawer. It doesn't matter if they're weighted or not. We need to make sure that you need full wrist stability and control, because you are coming up and down off the ground in these workouts. So we want to make sure that you aren't hindered in any way. Weighted gloves will actually do more damage than good in the long run, because longer levers with weight on the end of a lever is going to put a lot of pressure on your joints and tendons. So it's not necessary. Again, and very ever rarely, even when I'm boxing, maybe a little bit of a conditioning component, but I've never ever done or seen anybody do full rounds of shadow boxing with holding on to any sort of weights, because it's too hard on your joints and tendons. That's not the point. A little bit of conditioning here and there, never hurt anybody, but the program is specifically designed for nothing. So, which makes it easy, right? We're trying to make this as easy and simple as possible. And so there you go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Does anybody else have any questions before we go ahead and end this call? I know this is not normally our time that we have a call, so I know that a lot of you guys are still like, oh, I gotta put my kids to bed. Like, my husband was putting mine to bed, and he was apparently one of our dogs pooped, so he was all like, and then they pooped, and I was like, I am on a call. Like,
I already put my cat to bed, so she's
on
now, so.
I
can't like, I was gonna say I can relate, but I can't. So
I love your cat, and I love that you always talk about your cat, because I'm like, look at this guy with his adorable cat. Like,
she's such an ass, but I love her. She really is. But it's all I'm excited, because we're actually we just decided today, so we're actually moving to we're gonna get to a bigger place just down the street. And this gives you a sense of why we're moving. We're just moving so we have more space to get another cat. So, but I'm excited about that, because our cat right now is a Bengal, Asian snow leopard mix, and she has like the tabby markings. And then so the next one that we're getting, I'm going to get an orange Bengal. Ooh. So she's it's going to be a boy. I need some testosterone in this house. And it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to have a boy Bengal who's all orange and looks like a tiger. I'm so excited. That is so awesome. That's what we do instead of kids. So, perfect.
Can you tell us, like, I mean, I haven't heard anything. Is this groundbreaking? Is this record breaking? Like, I mean, surely it is, right? Like, we've just blown it out of the water at this point. Like, what's happening there? Do we know?
So, it's funny. They're so wary about giving numbers out. We heard we'll get numbers tonight for yesterday, but we did hear by the end of yesterday that it does seem like a couple of records were broken, and the sneak peeks broke every single record that they've ever had. So if that was any indication, I think we're on track. It's exciting. We're still not. I was just talking to Jericho earlier today on the phone. We're still not really sure what that means. Like, it's, everyone's like, well, how does it feel? And we're like, we don't know, because we don't know what this feels like. We've never done a program. We never had our own program, and we don't know what that means. And we just know that we're getting tagged more on social media, basically, which is awesome. I mean, we love seeing it. So, you guys don't stop. Keep tagging us in what you're doing. But yeah, we're just having fun with it. It really is. Like, this is supposed to be fun. Hopefully we can keep that. Hopefully this program will really bring maybe a new generation of thought into home workouts and the way we interact with you guys, and the way that we're seen, and the things that we say is like, you guys, it's fun. It really, really is fun. And it doesn't have to be the hardest thing in the world to do. There's so much other crap out there in the world that we have to worry about. This is something that should just make you feel better. And this should be a release. And this should be something that you don't have to be like, oh, I got to go do it again. Like, there's something that can easily, there's going to be days that you don't work out because you have something to do with your kids. Or there's going to be days that maybe you can get 2 workouts in, right? I got 2 workouts in yesterday, and today I didn't get any workouts in. But that's just the way it is. But I'm not freaking out about it, because I'm going to go do it again. I'm going to work out tomorrow. So it should be just easy. So that's what we're hoping, that people will do this and get into a habit and see that food is good. You still have good food, and you can still have a glass of wine or a little thing of scotch, which I will have tonight. And it's real. It's real, and you can have a good time at the same time. I did see Jess. You just asked about Jess. Jess asked about Jess. As a modifier in the program. Yeah, she is our TM, our token modifier in the entire program, and she is phenomenal. And shows all the modifications whenever necessary. Trish, no, you can drink all you want, but when you're going to do the entire 30-day program, no, you can't. But hey, when we were prepping for this thing, and I knew I had to do the cover shots and all that stuff, which, by the way, the cover shots of this program of Jericho, like doing the roundhouse and me in the front with my shirt off, that was seriously 90 days of this program. Workouts, meal plan. And we were because we were in test groups. That was January, February, March of this year. Now we were teaching 2 test group classes a day. So, but my nutrition was like, I was also up over 4,000 calories a day of this food plan. And those were my results. So it works. And I didn't drink those 90 days. That was because, I had a specific goal I was going for. So if you have a specific goal you're going for, then you got to give up a couple things. And we know that, Thanksgiving, the holidays are coming up. I had somebody else ask me, like, well, how do you get people to commit, in doing this and not freaking out about Thanksgiving, how to eat healthy? This is just me. If I was a coach, I'm not saying anybody should do this, but if I was a coach, honestly, I would give my people that day. I really, really would. You know what? Like, because you've got Thanksgiving. It's like, it's a family thing. It's not supposed to be about food, but we know what it is. We know that it's going to be there, and you don't want people to be miserable and feel, because the minute people feel like they're having to give up part of their life for something like fitness, that's when they say, I don't want to do it. And, I've seen that in the gym industry for years, where if people feel like they have to give up something, they're not going to want to do it. So again, if I was a coach and I was running challenge groups, I would give them Thanksgiving. I would give them Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or whatever they wanted to, and say, okay, look, because something's better than nothing, right? So the next 60 days of, hey guys, we're going to work out. I tell you what, we're going to do all the workouts for 60 days. We're going to do the eating plans the best that we can with the holidays coming up. And if you fall off track a little bit, that's okay. But man, come January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whenever you want to do it on that Monday, then hit it. Then spend 30 days and hit it, right? Because now there's nothing. January's nothing. January is everyone's in that mode, right? So it's perfect timing to do it. So as opposed to pushing and trying to and really hard in the next 2 months and losing people based on that, give them a little slack, right? It's like telling a 5-year-old, you have to do this. And or me, I'm not even 5, I'm 34. You tell me you have to do this. I'm gonna be like, no, I don't want to. But if you give a little slack, then I think it'll go a little bit easier, and then you can really, hopefully bring them in full on in January. So that, again, just my opinion, just what I would do.
So we have less than a minute. I know that Danae had one more question about she's doing.
Oh yeah. If you go to the gym every day. Okay. So if you're powerlifting, you have specific powerlifting goals. That's a very different type of training regimen. What I would suggest is if you're in this right now and you're a coach and you need to do this program so you can sell it, just do it for 30 days. Just do its entirety. Just take a break from the powerlifting. You can always go right back into it on day 31. But do it from start to finish just so you have 100% relatability with who you're talking to. That's my advice. You won't lose as much as you think in terms of progress. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joel. And this is probably going to cut off while I say this, but thank you for everything. We are so excited about this program, and it's amazing, and we love it. And thank you guys so much for coming up with it. So, and
thank you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and go forth in core de force.
Thanks. Bye.